got disconnected.
May I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
And we're back.
Yep. All right. Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know who it is. It's your favorite podcaster from the paranormal world. This is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. And you know what, dude? Let's just say I'm in Las Cruces, New Mexico, but this gentleman came out of Chi-Town, Illinois. Hey, Mr. William, introduce yourself, brother.
And my name is William Whedon. I got a group in Chicago. We call Urban Paranormal Experience. I just moved out to New Mexico earlier this year, trying to get a group together out this way. But in Chicago, we've been together for many years, probably at least 10 years, doing investigations, paranormal investigations throughout the Midwest. I don't know how many investigations we've done. We've been in Wisconsin, generally Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, that Great Lakes area is where we've been doing a lot of investigations over the past few years. Got a good team together. Hope to do some investigations out this way in New Mexico. I got a big thing lined up. Hopefully in the next month or two, out in Deming, New Mexico. We hope to go to a place called Adobe Deli, which used to be called an Indian school, I think called Flat Springs Indian School or something like that. Ghost Hunters did an episode out there about 2-3 years ago. Looks like we'll be able to get out there and do an overnight investigation. Hopefully we can get you guys to come up from Texas and join us.
Man, that's a done deal, man. We already got, that's already in our calendar. That's a done deal. We are on our way.
Okay, up and let's do this thing. And
you know what I'm saying? If somebody invites me, I'm going.
All right.
I'm going, man. Even if I got to sleep on your couch, I'm going.
Open invitation. Come on out. Hang out with me.
I am going. What made you want to move to New Mexico? Was it a job thing, or we just wanted to get away from the big city?
A little bit of both, the job thing, and I was looking to move out west eventually. Anyway, New Mexico's got a lot of unusual stuff going on out here. A lot of weird stuff. A lot of spiritual stuff, unexplained stuff. It's a good location to be at if you're into the paranormal.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful state. It's weather's lovely. The scenery's lovely. If you like the outdoors, you like the mountains, you like the sunshine, you can do a lot worse. So I'm enjoying it out this way.
I understand that, man. You know what? I got all that here in Texas, but the one thing that comes with that package is the heat. The heat, bro. The heat, bro. I can tell you, it was 106 today. And it was 106, and it was freaking raining.
Oh, yeah, that's
how is that even possible?
Yeah, well, hey, I don't know, but hopefully it cools off a little bit. Come December, you'll be like, man, I wish we had a little bit more heat, but
it is hot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you come down by yourself? Or did you bring your family with you? You got disconnected, guys. Let's see if we can get them back on here right quick. Oh, there he goes. Mm-hmm. Did you come down by yourself, or did you bring your family with you?
It's just me right now.
Okay. Do you got any kids, family, or anything?
Yeah, I got an 18-year-old daughter. She's starting college this year.
Oh, what school is she going to?
Up in Wisconsin. She's going to school at the University of Wisconsin.
She's a Badger.
Yeah, yeah.
Is she playing any sports?
Nah. Just trying to get through them 4 years.
Yeah, man. I got one that's up in Northeast Texas, man. And woo wee, getting through 4 years. You know what? 4 years seem like 10 years to me because I'm steady doing this. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I know that feeling.
I'm steady doing this. Hey, well, you know what,
Oh,
man? Tell me
oh,
a little bit about your team in Chicago.
my team in Chicago, we have members come and go, but basically it's me and my brother Regis. We've been the base of the team for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
We work with. We've been working with our spiritualist Ursula. She's got her own thing, but she joins us lots of times during investigation. We've got Vicky as an investigator that joins us as well. Uh, I got a younger nephew that is he's in his 20s, 20 something. He's in the
Mm-hmm.
videography. He wants to be a cameraman. I think I'm going to try to get him out to New Mexico to do the
Okay. Yeah,
work.
definitely.
He's got some professional camera equipment, so he wants to come out. He doesn't want to do so much the investigation, but he wants to do some camera work. That's his thing. So I'm like, great, man. You do. I'm out there with an iPhone and maybe a camcorder, but
I understand that, man.
that may work.
It's really hard trying to start all over again. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
but it's a family affair, and pretty much like your team. I mean, we're pretty much all African American. We're all African Americans, and that's kind of rare in the ghost hunting business.
Yes, it is.
So, we try to do our thing from that angle as well. We've been trying to do some paranormal investigations at areas that are historical to the African American experience. Been trying to get down to Charleston, for instance, Charleston, South Carolina. They've got some interesting historical locations down there for African Americans as well as New Orleans. Uh, that's all on the drawing board, trying to hit those things, and that's what we want to do. And that's because I think that particular angle hasn't been tackled so much in the
Mhm.
general media, but maybe some things that are of interest to people out there. So,
Well, hey, man, you know what? Before you get to New Orleans, you got to stop through Central Texas.
oh, absolutely.
You know,
Uh,
because we're definitely we're a small team, but we're doing big things.
well,
You know
that's
what I'm
good.
saying? And I can honestly say I'm proud of the guys that I got now. These
Oh,
guys here, they do whatever it takes to get the job done. You know what I'm
well, the
saying?
paranormal community is a small community. It's even smaller for America. So, I've seen your work. You guys have been doing some good stuff. And hopefully we can get together and do some investigations soon.
Oh well, it's a done deal, man. Because at the second week in October, man, we're headed to La Cruces, and I hope you're gonna show us a good time.
Oh, for sure. For
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? I meant to talk to you, a little bit more about what days that you wanted to do this, but I was thinking maybe the last week in October, the weekend before Halloween, we can get down there and do this investigation, have some fun, and
We got to try to avoid that Halloween
it
season.
died again.
The amateurs come out for Halloween, and that kind of messes things up. But if we can get it in before Halloween, my calendar's open mid-September all the way to a week before Halloween. Whatever works for you guys, we'll get it together.
I bet. I mean, it's a date, man, because I think we're definitely up for this, man. 'Cause the minute you invited us out over there, I contacted the team, and they're like, "Man, let's go,
All right. I like
let's
that.
go." And what's so crazy about it, man? When you were in Chicago last year, I reached out to you guys to actually come on the show then, but
Okay.
man, yeah, I think you guys were just like super busy. And I totally understand that, man, because if you're busy, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
uh,
things get crazy. At one point, we were trying to get an investigation in every month. That
mhm.
was cool. We did a couple of things up in Michigan that proved to be pretty interesting. We were up in Central Michigan doing investigations. So yeah, we probably just got lost in communication, got lost during those busy times,
Oh
whatever.
man, and that's all right with me because you're here now.
Absolutely.
You're here now. Okay, let's break this down a little bit. How did you get into the paranormal? As a brother, a black man, because there's not too many of us out there.
Yeah, yeah.
What made you want to go down this paranormal road that you're going down now?
Well, it had always been that curiosity, but many years ago, I was on a trip to Nassau, Bahamas, and this is where it all began for me.
Hmm.
Legit. I was on a trip to Nassau, Bahamas. I was down there for a wedding, and I was at the wedding reception or whatever after the wedding, and they had it in it was like a warehouse sort of thing, old warehouse along the waterfront, and I had went up to a coat room or something like that, where I walked into the room. It was a small room.
Hmm.
Went in there and I saw a person in there, and I just started making small conversation with the person, and person wasn't responding much. And then I turned around to kind of continue the conversation more personally, and there was nobody there.
Oh wow.
And this room was very small. It wasn't more than 7 or 8 feet by 7 or 8 feet, like a coat room sort of thing. And there was nobody there. No, only one way out, the same way I came in. I didn't see anybody go out. I didn't, I'm spooked at that point. This, so I had to go up. He had to go up a flight of stairs to get to that room. So I came back down to the wedding reception area and sat down at the table and continued the conversation with people. I mean, I might have mentioned to one or two people that was on one or the other side of me that I saw something weird upstairs, but that was about it. The person that I went to the wedding for, I knew personally, but that person was getting married, so they were at the head table and all that. And I didn't get a chance to
Hmm.
talk. Several years later, cut back several years later, we're talking about 3, 4, 5 years later, I get a chance to go back to the Bahamas, and I'm like, I guess I'll bring this up to this guy. I didn't mention it 3 or 4 years ago, but I'm going to ask about it now. I got up enough nerve. And I asked him, his name is Cy. I said, Cy, I didn't want to mention this back when it happened. But, 3, 4 years ago when I was at your wedding, I told him the story when I went up to the room and saw this person and had a conversation and nobody was there. And he turns to me and he says, oh, well, man, everybody knows this place is haunted, And I was like, oh, really? So that kind of confirmed to me 3, 4 years later that what I saw might have been real. I might not have been.
Yeah, there you go. You know,
The only folks.
uh-oh. Internet went out again.
All right.
Man, I don't know if that's my internet that's acting crazy or what. It's kind of stormy here, so it might be you kind of going in and out a little bit.
All right. Well,
But
it's not.
okay, well, check this out, man. What kind of paranormal are you? Different types of paranormal investigators. Are you the validation type, or are you more of a validation, in case, there's a demon there, you can handle that situation? What kind of paranormal investigator is Mr. William Wheaton?
Well, we're more of a validation team. I mean, we're not confrontational, like, for instance, a Ghost Adventures guys. We don't provoke. We don't confront. We're more just the observational team, more like the ghost hunters. We're just there. We'll set up. We'll see. We'll observe.
Right,
And
right.
not confront or anything like that or provoke. So that's more of what we do. We're not looking at. I mean, we're not looking for negative spirits, negative. That's why we have a spiritualist with it. If we get an inkling that there may be some negative energy there, that's not something we're trying to deal with. So, we don't even investigate that. We want to go with positive energy. Uh, if we can avoid the negative energy, and we've been successful with that so far.
Well, that's good. Chicago, man, Chi-Town.
Absolutely.
Man, what number is, what is that? That's like the fifth largest city in the country?
Yeah, I think it's the third.
The third? Okay. Now, you guys shouldn't have any problems finding a place to investigate.
Oh,
Uh,
there's lots of places to investigate in Chicago. I mean, there's lots of, if you keep your eyes open, there's lots of places to investigate everywhere.
oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Now, when you guys are investigating in Chicago when you was there, what you guys were doing a little urban thing, or were you guys residential, or were you one of those historic cemetery type, paranormal team?
Well, we've done a little bit of both. I mean, we've done, for instance, we went to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery outside of Chicago, which is well known, paranormal hotspot. We've been there. We've done, we've investigated. There's a place called the Valentine Boys and Girls Club in Chicago
Mhm.
that's been on a few paranormal programs. I mean, that place is definitely haunted. Uh, we've gone to for instance, we've gone up to Milwaukee and did the mansion there. It was a bed and breakfast. I forget the name. I think it's called Brumner Bed and Breakfast in Milwaukee. Um, so we've done mainly, you know I guess it's mostly been businesses or hotels or establishments that have experienced paranormal activity, or allegedly experienced paranormal activity. We've been to for instance, we went to West Michigan, Allegan County Jail in Michigan, uh,
Mhm.
jail that was built in the 1800s, uh, probably 1880s, and it was part jail and part residential thing. But we've got some good activity there as well. Yeah, so we've been all around, uh, but we generally go to places like that, not so much homes or individual private homes to investigate, but businesses, establishments, things like that have experienced paranormal activity.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, man, please tell me you guys don't have a spaghetti warehouse in Chicago.
Spaghetti warehouse? What, the rest?
Yeah.
I don't know. If they do, I don't visit it, so I don't think we do. Still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Yeah, I don't think we have that there. I don't
Good.
recall.
Because everywhere you go, man, I don't know, and I don't know if these places are just somebody, either the owner is something's wrong with the owners, because it seems like every spaghetti warehouse, every major city here in Texas is haunted.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I know they have one in Nashville that's supposed to be haunted. I haven't had a chance to get there, but it's
I,
no spaghetti.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man. The one in Austin, the one in Houston, the one in Dallas, all of them supposedly have paranormal activity in them. The one in Austin is closed down. It closed
Mm,
down probably about 20 years ago. So
okay.
I'm definitely looking to get inside that facility and see what's going on. I know that the building is probably going into disarray right now, but all I need is some good boots, and I'm good to go.
There you go. Must be something in the spaghetti. I don't know.
Yeah, gotta be at least not in the damn bread. You know what I'm saying? In the bread. All right. And so, how does man? Is your parents still alive?
Yeah, my mom's still alive.
Oh, how do your mom feel about you doing this, man?
Well, she's believes in it. She's a little leery at times. She's like, as long as you don't bring anything back home, that's fine. But my mom's still in Chicago. My brother's there, and we have some strange going on at the family residence as well. So
Yeah, because one thing, as black, as black people, especially down here in the southern parts.
Yeah.
We were raised in, if you something you don't understand, you run away from it.
Mm.
And you know what? And I've seen plenty of things that I couldn't understand, so I ran away from it.
Right.
You
Right.
know, but as I got older, all that came back to me. You know, and you sit down on the couch and you just wonder, man, did that really happen when I was a kid? Did this really happen when I was a kid? So your mind started running. And you know what? And you say, you know, nobody in the family even researched it, or or just looked at it. They just like whatever, and just go from there.
Right.
But me, I'm like, oh no, man, I gotta check into all this to make sure this is on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? And I start researching my family history all the way back to when my great great grandmother was a Native American Indian, and and it just grew from there, man. And I come to find out why some of the stuff was happening in my grandmother's house, and it, believe it or not, man, it had a lot to do with, well, I can't say that. Well, it had a lot to do with the time and the era that they were raised in.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So,
Right.
like for an example, I was told that my grandmother, my great great grandmother, put a hex on the mailman.
Oh, really?
The mailman wouldn't even go near the mailbox.
Well.
And I always wondered why my next door neighbor ended up getting our mail, because she put the damn hex on the mailman.
Next on the mailman. Well.
Not only that,
Yeah, I heard. I hear what you're saying. My family is. They're believers. They may be different levels of believers. You know, they're not going to come out with me. My mom, she's not going to come out and investigate with me. I got other brother, got a cousin, a couple of cousins. They're not going to come out investigating, but they're like, well, this is you don't want to be messing around.
boy, this internet is something else.
Yeah, it's still on.
All right, there you go. You're back. Yeah.
So some of the family members believe, some don't, but I don't push it on anyone. If anyone wants to come out with me and investigate, I'm always open. I mean, even my friends and family, a lot of friends are interested in the paranormal. When we go out and do an investigation or we're on live or whatever, they'll tune in, but
Right.
they don't want to come out and actually. They want to experience it, but they're a little bit afraid of.
Exactly. And you have to ground yourself, man. You got to protect yourself when you're out there. So
Yeah.
what do you use to protect yourself when you're out there investigating?
Well, like I said, for the most part, we try not to investigate any negative energy. So that's the main thing. We try to get with a spiritualist such as Ursula that can detect that type of energy. What's a
Mhm.
negative energy, and let you know what may be there. And if we can avoid coming into a situation where it's negative to begin with, that's that's the best protection we got. We're not trying to go in there cold. One time we did go into a situation. Actually, it was at the Valentine's Boys and Girls Club. I don't know if it was negative, but um, we were there with several other groups doing the investigation. This place was over 10,000 square feet, 15,000.
Mhm.
So there were several groups there investigating, but one of the organized spiritualists, and he started calling out these negative energies. We were all sitting around a table, and he was calling out negative energy, and things started going haywire. Things really started going south. I mean, we started picking up curse words over um, the ovulus and things like that, and people started feeling sick and getting scratched while we're sitting around the table. I
Oh
mean,
wow.
that wasn't some stuff that we were trying to deal with. So we haven't really worked with that guy and since that happened. But
Yeah. I've yet to experience anything really that That
Well,
uh,
so when
and
you start calling out stuff like that, I mean, that could be a problem. Like I said,
yeah.
it's not a situation that we would set up ourselves. That's not what we want to be. We just have to be there, and this is what's going on.
Oh, I feel you. Tell me a little bit about this school that you recently come across in Las Cruces.
Well, it was it's called the I get the name of, but now it's called the Adobe Deli. It used to be the Indian school. It's actually in Deming, New Mexico, which is about uh, 50 miles west of Las Cruces. It's
Okay.
an old 1800 schoolhouse, Indian schoolhouse. I think it was used as a maybe to house tuberculosis victims after that, and it was several other businesses or whatever in between then. But it always had a reputation of being having paranormal experiences there. The team from Ghost Adventures went there. It might have been in 2019. So they did an episode there in 20 or so 2020. They there. I've been there myself probably 3 or 4 times. I've been here in Mexico, with the owner or whatever. And, I'm not the most sensitive person in the world. I'm not like
Hmm.
the spiritualist where I can talk to people and I'm getting these feelings and all this. But I do get a tingling that hey, something's going on here. I don't know exactly what, but I can be in a place and I can get a feeling that okay, something might be happening here. And I was definitely picking that up there at the Adobe Deli. Like I said, I don't know exactly what was going on. I'm not talking to people. I'm not seeing things, but I'm getting the feeling that yeah, there's some activity here. I always get that whenever I'm there.
Mm.
So, we've been invited there, and we got an opportunity to stay overnight and do an investigation with the owner's approval and consent. And I think it'll be a great opportunity. To,
How big is this place? I mean, we're talking. You said it's a school. Is it a single building, couple acreage?
no, well, and it's the building itself is pretty good size. I'm not familiar with square footage, but it may be a good 7 or 8 thousand, yeah, about a good 6, 7 thousand, 8 feet. I would say it's a good size. It's not. It's a school size, so it's an older 1800s school, but
Oh wow.
it's good size, at least 6, 7 thousand feet. I would say.
Mm. Okay.
Seven
Now,
rooms. Yeah.
why do you think there's paranormal activity there? Is it because of the Native Americans that was there, or the
Well,
land itself, or I mean, what do you think what actually caused the activity to go on there?
probably the that school was. I don't know what happened when the Indian school was there. I can imagine that it wasn't the best place to be. I don't know. If it was a tuberculosis hospital or whatever. I mean, I'm sure that was a lot of things going. Now it's a restaurant, but they have a lot of antiques there, a lot of things that they brought in to add to the character of the place. You might see a lot of quirky stuff that is picked up from here and there that, when you go out and you pick up some of these objects that you want to use as, bring back to your house as, just to add some flavor to your house. And they're old stuff. You don't know what kind of energy is attached to that stuff.
Yep, that's okay. I don't need anything that can turn their head when they not supposed to. I don't go that route.
They've got a lot of that there. I mean, it's a quirky place. They got a lot of stuff there that you'll be like, wow, this is a lot of weird stuff. But I think that might add to the energy as well.
Yeah. Now, why do you Las Cruces? What's the population of that town?
Las Cruces got about 30,000 people, I would think.
Well, not a big town then. I mean, it's average size.
Good sized town, yeah.
So How are you advertising yourself to get more members? I mean, what exactly are you doing to push to get more members on your team?
Well, this is I've only been out here about 3 or 4 months, so I'm still trying to get it established myself. So I haven't worked on getting a team together so far. It's kind of, as a matter of fact, my page and my our urban paranormal page is still geared towards Chicago because I mean that's where all the team members are. Trying to get them out here to do the investigation with us in Las Cruces or in October. But until I can get a team together out here and find some people that are interested in paranormal and want to do, it, you know, hopefully have some experience that probably don't have to give too much guidance and training to. Just haven't had a chance to do that yet. I'm still trying to get used to being out here, and that's been taking up most of my time. But
I understand that, man, but no worries, bro. We're on our way. I can almost guarantee you that the team is excited. Once I told them and I asked them what did they think, they're like, man, let's go.
all right, well, I think
Let's go. I mean, they actually this is our first investigation outside the state of Texas.
oh well, this will be enjoyable.
Yes, it will be.
You know, it probably take you a little while to get over to Las Cruces and Deming, but once you get here, it's going to be good.
Yeah, because normally we had plans to go to investigate the historic uh, charity hospital in New Orleans
Oh yeah, okay.
because they closed that building down.
Hmm.
So I was, and I tried to get multiple teams. I mean, if something that big, you really got to come with multiple teams. And I mean, that hospital is about 25 stories, maybe more.
Yeah, yeah, it's a big place.
And you're dealing with stairs because there's no air conditioning, there's no electricity in there. So you're dealing with, so you got to come something that big, man. You got to come well prepared, and then you got to deal with the environment also.
Yeah,
Not only that, you got to deal with the hoarders that are in the place. That's or might can get a little bit out of the box. So that's it's just certain things you got to watch out for. When you're investigating something that big and in a city that's well known like New Orleans.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We had a chance to investigate the. It was it's the federal building now, but it used to be the where they brought the slaves at to when they came in, they would actually uh, do the regulations or log in all the information with the slaves. It was customs house, the old customs.
Oh, custom house.
Yeah, and that's back in those days, all the terrible history of slavery had going, but this building in particular is where they would bring those and uh, log them into the records and then do whatever they needed to do. But eventually, the custom house became a federal building. So now it's a federal building. I think it's run by the Department of EPA or EPA or something like that. But we had an opportunity to do that a few years back. Didn't get a chance to do it because COVID came up and interrupted the person that was going to allow us to be there. Uh, they were running the building, and then COVID hit, and that person retired. And building, but that was something I was looking forward to because we talked to a few people in the building that were working there when we were thinking about going, and they were telling us stories about their experiences there as they were working just day to day and how things were just kind of unusual in their day to day experiences at work.
Mhm.
So hopefully we'll get a chance to get back there.
Well, I like to go with you. Use some of that PTO time I got. Yeah, we'll pack up tomorrow and go if we had to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The one thing I really love about I'm originally from Colorado, Denver, which is not too far from, right up the street from New Mexico. It's not a couple hours drive.
Yeah.
Uh, but the one thing I love about Central Texas is uh, it's all the hospitals that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about Central Texas is if you got one hospital, you got all the other feeder places that goes with it. So if you got a hospital, you also have a what is that place, like a recovery center.
Right.
And then a recovery, when you go to rehab, that's what they call it, rehab. What is going on with the internet? Okay, so once you go to rehab, and if rehab don't work with you, it goes to a nursing home. And if the nursing home can't help you, that's when hospice has their own location. So you got four different places, besides the hospital that can, but they're constantly building hospitals here in Central Texas and they all putting those locations in the one building now.
Right.
So now you got all these abandoned nursing homes, rehabilitation centers that you have access to, and also hospice where you go. You know, everybody know what hospice is. That's where they go prepare you to, for the unedible. For when you pass on. But all those places are being put into one single building. So, I understand what the city does. It saves them money, and it saves them a lot of time and effort from transporting one place to another.
Right. Sorry about that.
But we actually have, you can actually get access to the nursing home or to the rehabilitation center, and you're able to investigate some of those locations.
All right.
And man, and I can honestly tell you, bro, hospice, nursing homes is some of the most active places I've ever been to.
Yeah, I don't think we went to one hospital in Bloomington, Illinois. I believe around down by Bloomington. That I think we got a little bit of activity there. Not very much. That's probably been the only hospital that we've been to. Been to a couple of jails, and got some good activity there. Not hospitals, but that's definitely on the list.
Oh man, hey, if that's the case, you got to come to Texas. I mean,
Yeah.
I can honestly tell you, man, I can walk out my house, go to the street, make a right, and I can almost tell you there's a rehabilitation center and a nursing home right down the street.
Well, we'll have to pick up on that offer to come down to Texas then.
Yeah, right down the street. Hey, we actually went into a nursing home. The city tried to play it off a little bit. I give the city of Austin they're a little credit for what they tried to do. They tried to cover it up. It was a nursing home at first. Then they made it into a youth center.
Okay.
And so they tried to go in and refurbish everything and make everything all nice and pretty. But the one thing about nursing homes, when people die, man, some of those people are going to remain there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the case.
Wow.
And that was the case, man, because I can honestly tell you, William, I mean, the place was spooky as it is.
Yeah.
And but when we got to the west, no, the south wing of the nursing home, activity picked up poltergeist. Man, it was just
Guys, activity.
poltergeist. I'm not used to saying that word,
Yeah.
but dude, we had, man, it was crazy.
Yeah.
We had
What?
things throwing at us. I mean, we just it was crazy.
Trying to get dark down there now.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Yeah, poltergeist
Went
activity.
off again, guys. I don't know if it's my internet. I'm trying to figure that out right now. But yeah, man, oh my God, the activity elevated. We
Okay.
had things thrown at us. Oh, well, it wasn't thrown at us, but it was thrown to a certain area to let us know that something was there.
Okay.
And
Well,
uh,
got poltergeist activity. At least you got something going on.
yeah, definitely.
We've experienced some poltergeist activity for not a lot, only on a few cases, but that's something that let you know there's something there for sure.
Definitely. And then you got those individuals that are no longer here that has that direct contact with you,
Mm-hmm.
that can communicate, understand what you're saying, and they and you can understand what they're saying. I mean, man, it's so, you know what? It's been one heck of a year, and we still got 6 months to go. You know what I'm saying? So it is, I mean, the evidence that we've picked up, is crazy. And and some of this stuff, I can honestly say I don't even think we uploaded to any social media outlets yet, because there's so much evidence to go over, and to do this and to do that. I mean, hell, man, I'm looking for a editor so we can actually focus on other things. We can pay this guy, to go ahead and go through all of that, and he can make it nice and neat.
Right. Right.
But it's really hard finding somebody like that. They don't, that don't want to charge you an arm and a leg.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But dude, the evidence is unbelievable here in Texas. You really don't know what you're gonna get because the history is so strong in certain parts of the state. It's one thing, it's another, another thing. I mean, you go to East Texas, man, you got that whole Louisiana Cajun influence. You go to South Texas, you got that whole Mexican influence. You go North Texas, you got that whole cowboy Indian thing, and in the meantime, Central Texas is smack down in between all of that. So you get all that feed into into a one location that you really don't know what you're going to get when you go in and investigate. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Oh, we're pretty close to El Paso. We're only like 50 miles away from El Paso. So,
Well, hell, man, you might as well drive another 10 hours and come on into Austin. But
all of these invite.
yeah, man. I mean, dude. I mean, if you really, we will show you a hell of a time, man. And I can guarantee you, 100%, 100%. I am willing to put my minivan on this.
There you go.
You will have a good time, and you will leave here with that one word. Wow. Wow. You were like, wow, man. I can't believe this, that. Wow. And not only that, you get a chance to eat some great food.
Oh, yeah. I like Austin. Austin's a good town. I've been there before.
You know what I'm saying? You get a chance to eat some great food. But, it's a great town, but it has its dark side.
Yeah, like every town.
That's like every town. Every town has its dark side. Right now, we are in Salado, man. The newest Central Texas paranormal hotspot.
Oh, really?
Man, that place, select the little town probably is no bigger than a damn square block,
Mm-hmm.
but it has. But that little town is awesome, man. It has a lot of activity there. Uh,
Okay.
between the Native Americans, the cowboys, the slave trade, because there is a plantation that hell I didn't even know it was a plantation there. No,
Mm-hmm.
in the town, literally in the town,
Yeah.
and right now we're trying to. It's not about the house. I don't care about the house
Right.
because most of the stuff that happened to the slaves wasn't in the big house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, it was on the land, and that's what I want to get onto the property itself.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't care.
Well, that's interesting. And we have a little, I'm in Silver City, New Mexico right now, and there's a old Civil War fort here, Fort Bayard. Uh, it's pretty much a ghost town now, but it's run by the U.S. Forest Service. It's part of the U.S. Forest Service. So they maintain a couple of buildings on the property
Mm-hmm.
as a museum and information center, that sort of thing. But they still have several buildings remaining on the property. Fort Bayard used to be a training area for the Buffalo Soldiers back during the Civil War.
Oh
And
wow!
yeah, it's pretty much a ghost town now. There's really nothing there. The cemetery is there for the soldiers, probably about a quarter mile away from the actual fort area.
Now, how far is that from where you wants to investigate?
Well, you're talking about probably another 50 miles to the west. So I'm in Las Cruces. Well, you know this geography. Okay, there's El Paso, way west Texas. Straight
Mm-hmm.
north, straight up north 40 miles is Las Cruces, New Mexico. And you go 50 miles to the west, that's Deming. That's where we'll do this investigation at the Adobe Deli. And then another 50 miles to the west is will be Fort Bayard. It's over there. So
You know what? That sounds intriguing, man. We just might have to make that 50 miles and go check that place out.
yeah, we can check it out during the daytime. On overnight investigations, you may be able to do it. I mean, like I said, it's run by the federal government. It's part of the federal government maintains it since it is a military historical base.
Right.
So it may have to get some permissions to get there and do that overnight, but definitely do something daytime.
Well, the one thing we do know as paranormal investigators, man, it don't have to be nighttime to get some evidence.
That'd be nighttime. I mean, that makes for good theater, but it don't have to be.
You're right. I mean, it puts that wow factor in there. It puts that fear factor in there. Just having it a little dark, but man, yo, I mean, you sitting there, man, and your hair can grow up on your arms during the daytime. It don't have to be night. I mean, my hands. I mean, I don't got much hair on my arms, but what little bit I got, it has stood up during the day. I'm like, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? That static electricity in the air, yeah, that definitely will definitely get you thinking.
Absolutely. Well, the few times I've experienced some poltergeist activity has been in the daytime. As a matter of fact, it's been at night. Yeah, you don't need that nighttime. I mean, like I said, it makes for good theater. But if there's some paranormal activity going on, it's happening day and night. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. And man, we got some of the greatest, spookiest cemeteries that I can almost guarantee you, man. You walk in one way, but you will walk out another.
Yeah, well, like I said, we did Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in Chicago, right outside of Chicago, and that place is off the chain spooky. Off the chain. I will say that it's haunted.
Oh yeah.
It's a cemetery, and I don't know if some of you may know about it or you may know about it, but the history is that call it Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. It was a pauper cemetery back in the 1800s or whatever. Their last burial there was in like 1960.
Mm.
It's out in a wooded area. They call it forest preserve, or it may be I don't know, a wooded preserve area. I don't know what you call them in Texas, but it's a preserve type area.
Mm-hmm.
But this place it's a small cemetery that's kind of been forgotten and abandoned because it's no longer maintained by the county or the state or anybody. And there's graves out there, probably about, I don't know, 150 grave sites or whatever, in a little, probably 100 yard, probably about 100 football size field area. And you go out in the middle of this wooded preserve area where squirrels are running around and birds are chirping and all that. You go onto the cemetery property and there's absolutely no activity. Squirrels running, or butterflies flying, or birds flying by. You don't see any of that in the summertime. You're like, man, this is weird. And then you get out there and you get a weird feeling. We've gone out there and taken some equipment with us, picked up some uh, incredible audio, some incredible responses, especially with the dowsing rods out there. We picked up a lot of activity. Yeah, that's a good location as far as cemeteries go. It's probably one of the best that I've been to.
Okay. Tell me about, did you leave your equipment in Chicago? Do you got to start over again? Or tell me a little bit about that. How are you working with that off?
No, I've got my equipment with me. I've got most of my equipment with me. I left some equipment in Chicago. Got most of it with me. Got most of it loaded up on my iPad. Everything is available by iPad now. Cameras and stuff. I brought that with me. Got a couple of night vision cameras and all that stuff I left. I haven't been able to bring that yet, but I'll get that down here. So,
okay. How do you feel about some of these camera apps, these paranormal camera apps? Do you use some of that stuff?
No, I mean, it's paranormal camera apps. You have to be careful about those. I mean, if they say they're for entertainment purposes only, you can bet they're for entertainment purposes only. So you got
to right.
Very limited.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll use the apps. I'll use, the stuff I use for apps. For instance, is EMF meters and things like that are legitimate tools that people use for business purposes, like a or a thermometer or something like that record or give a response to. I'll use that. But for if something says, well, this is a ghost meter or this is a ghost this, ghost that, I'm a little leery of that because I don't need.
Okay, all right. How far are you from Dulce, New Mexico?
I don't know what Dose is. I'm not familiar with Dose.
Yeah, man. If you want to get into, if you want to change it up and get into cryptids and ufology and all that stuff, I think you are in a great state to do so.
Well, I mean, I can tell you about some experiences with that already, but
yeah, I mean, New Mexico is a great place for all of that.
Yeah, New Mexico.
Oh my God, this damn internet.
New Mexico is on a different level with that stuff.
So it's, you know what? And you were born and raised in Chicago?
Yeah, born and raised.
Man, all right. Well, tell me some Chicago, it's a very big town. I'm pretty sure you hear a lot of weird stuff that goes on in there, in that city. I think when I went to Chicago, I went to Oak Park. Oak Park has probably changed since the 1980s. It probably ain't the little suburb it used to be now. It's probably a big suburb.
Yeah.
You know, So that was the last time, I mean, 1989. That was the last time I went to Chicago. But tell me about some of the urban legends that Chicago has, and people still believe to this day.
Urban legends. Well, I mean, there is there's a place called used to be Studio 54 in Chicago. It's a dance hall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it I forget what they call it now. It's been many different things, but the building is still there. It's an opulent old building. It used to be a library, but it was built in the 1800s, something like that. And way back when, I don't know the exact date, but they had a shipping disaster, cruise ship disaster on the Chicago River. I think about 900 people died or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot of people died in the ship. It was horrible. But like I said, this might have been 1870s, 1880s, maybe 1900s. And they took a lot of bodies, and they didn't have, as you can imagine, a place to store all these bodies. So they were storing them in all different places. One of the places they stored the bodies was one of them happened to be Oprah Winfrey's old studio, and the other building was this place that turned out to be a disco. It was called it Studio 54, and I forget what they called it after that. But it was a dance hall type of place up until maybe 20 years ago, still. And that place had a lot of paranormal activity that people would experience there. Uh, I was there one time and I experienced some weird stuff going on there as well. Oprah Winfrey's old studio. I think if you look on the internet about Oprah Winfrey's old studio, Harpo Studio, you'll see that a lot of people say that they felt some paranormal activity going on there. Some unexplained activity that was all from this. I think it was called the Eastland disaster. Which, uh, there's that. There's yeah. I mean, there's things like that people still talk about Chicago. Like that the cemetery out there in Baton Grove. Uh, there's uh, call it the I can't remember. I'm trying to think of the stuff right now. I haven't thought about it in a while. Yeah, I mean, a lot of legends still.
Okay. Are you able to see the comments?
No, if you can read them to me.
All right. Mike Chopper. Mike Chopper is from he's from Laredo, Texas. He's with the team called Torres Paranormal Investigations. And he wants to know, have you ever investigated a junkyard before?
Not a junkyard. We haven't investigated a junkyard. We did investigate a place in outside of Chicago. It uh, now it's a tire and rim shop, but
Hmm.
back in the day, it was back in the 30s or 20s or 30s. It used to be a restaurant or the mobsters, and uh, there was there were legends that in the basement where, where they took care of a lot of business. But uh, uh, we were there several years ago. Saw some really good activity. It is not a junkyard, but more like a tire repair place. Pretty big, probably five, seven
Okay.
thousand. Very good activity there.
Would you consider investigating the junkyard if you had that opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, if we had opportunity, I mean, we investigate anywhere if we had some opportunity.
I heard that.
It,
Hey, all right. Mike also wants to know what kind of gadgets do you use?
Mike. To be honest with you, I mean, people use different gadgets, all these high tech things. One of the best tools that I found and that we use that got some good communication with are the dowsing rods. I mean, I like the old fashioned dowsing rods because you can save You can hold those dowsing rods. You can say point here, point to William, point to Mary. How many people are here? Across the rods 2, 3 times. For people here, you'll get those responses immediately. Tell you to investigate. You get started with real low tech stuff that's going to give you responses. You'd be surprised that you would surprise yourself. Get some
Right.
dowsing. Dowsing rods are good, but then you get, you want to go investigate and do some investment in some cameras. We invested in some cell phone. I have obviously cell phones, iPhones are everyone has them now, and there's great apps on there. The Ovilus app is great. There's a lot of crap that you have to keep away from. Like I said, that they're for entertainment purposes only, but there are some good apps on available that you can use. Invest in a good handheld camera, a good digital tape recorder that records music. That sort of stuff is basic stuff. I mean, if you budget and you can invest in some red cameras and things like that, night vision cameras, you talk about 2,000, 2,500 bucks a camera. If you got a TV show and you're getting that type of budget, yeah, you can do it. But if you just got
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be, if you, I don't think you're going to have the money to invest like that.
No, I don't have that type of budget either. But I do want to invest into those LED rods, man. I don't know if you ever seen them, but those things are so freaking cool, man. And they're running
Yeah.
$200 or $300.
There's a lot of good stuff out here now that is, digitally formatted and you can download and attach to your phone or your iPad that does a pretty good job. I mean, you don't have to, I know they have some stuff out here now that you don't have to get yourself a night vision camera. That they've got some attachments that you can add to your iPhone that work pretty well.
Yeah.
And, are a fraction of the cost. So, I mean, as technology improves, it makes it better.
Yeah, it does. Uh, William, man, I'm gonna bring up a topic, man. I bring up with just about every paranormal investigator that I talk to on my podcast, and and that's how do you feel about Hollywood and the way they portray paranormal investigators? The way that we do things, the way that we investigate compared to the way they investigate. Do you think it kind of puts a bad taste in the average day paranormal investigator compared to these guys that are out there trying to get those that are out there trying to get those they're out there trying to get the audience out there trying to get those numbers.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all. I mean, it's when you're talking about, for instance, TV programs, the paranormal programs on TV. I mean, it's all ratings driven. I mean, so you got to have some wow factor in there, I suppose. The truth of the matter is, as you probably know, I mean, you could go on a paranormal investigation and sit out there for 3, 4 hours. You might not experience anything. Like,
Exactly.
you're going to sit there in 30 minutes or an hour show and have all this activity going on, which is what a lot of people think. That, hey, I'm gonna go on a paranormal investigation. I'm gonna sit there for an hour and I'm gonna have all kinds of stuff popping off. It doesn't happen.
Right.
You might not see anything. I mean, you go back the next night and it might be, it might be going on. It depends on, the paranormal is not on your schedule. It will happen when it happens. And if you
Exactly.
happen to be there a night where it's not happening, then it's just not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. How, now, me myself, I always seem to think that I think he froze up.
Like I said, TV programs are ratings driven. That people want to see something going. I think, and I think a lot of this as you can probably tell, a lot of this stuff was happening for dramatic effect and to get some ratings. And you know, uh, I have to be a little. Some of it's a little suspect. I'm not going to name the program, but I'm know who they are. They are.
Yeah. Me myself, I think some of the best, paranormal investigators, man, are on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're out. They're not trying to, get their. I mean, of course, they're trying to get their name out, but they're not looking for the next TV show. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. And half the time, these guys are out and investigating, and they capture something. Hell, they don't even know it. They captured it until a couple days later.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, though Hollywood, I really can't. I mean, it's something else.
Well, like Hollywood, I mean, and they get a hold of a story, they're always going to add that. They're going to take liberty with the story and enhance it a little bit because, hey, it's all about if they spending $10 million make a movie, they want to get $100 million back. They got to spice it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. They definitely got to make some money. I mean, they definitely got to promote. Whatever they're trying to promote. But me myself, man, I quit watching them.
Well,
I really did.
I mean, I watch for entertainment purposes. I like watching the Conjuring stuff with the Warrens because they were legit. I mean, the Warren, Lorraine Warren and her husband, they were some legitimate old school. I mean, they're the old school ghost hunters right there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I mean, Hollywood took their story and they onto it and all that, but it was based on it's based on fact, based on historical incidents, but not totally true. They're gonna spice it up a little bit for entertainment purpose.
Yeah, and that's why I quit watching them. I started off watching Ghost Hunters, season 1, season 2.
Yeah.
Season 3. But you know what? As the seasons go along, I started to see those claws.
Yeah.
I started to see the scratches on members' backs, from all the negative talk that these I forgot their names now, but that they were saying to these team members. I'm like, dude, who in the hell will talk to somebody like that?
Right.
And and trust me, if you want to put up with that and you getting a paycheck, that's fine.
Right.
But you know what? A real person is not going to say, screw that, man. I'm not putting up with you. I'm effing out of here. I mean, but once again, that's where that almighty dollar comes in, and you just got to bite your tongue and, and do what you need to do to get that paycheck.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I quit watching.
I'm pretty much in the same boat.
I quit watching. If I want to watch something, I go watch some of my old videos from like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got some good experience as well. I need to get some more, video auditing together and some more high tech stuff. That's where I'm hoping my younger generation of nephew comes in and can help out.
Lord. Man, good luck. If you got a nephew that's able to do that, yeah, you definitely need to recruit him because, like we were saying earlier, these guys today, they want big money.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? They want big money. At this point, people used to ask me, do you want quality or do you want quantity?
Mm-hmm.
And, and at this point of the game, I will want quality.
Right.
I don't mind paying, because believe it or not, William, I was paying $50 per editing. He would edit, he would, put the intro in, the first intro, ending intro. He would put the music in, and he would cut whatever he needs to cut for $50.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you can't beat that.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
But that was 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Everything then went up now.
Thing went up. I
Yeah,
mean,
everything went up. I mean, it's not $50 anymore. And
right.
plus, you know, he wanted. I mean, I understand everybody worked. It was a side gig for him, but you know, but when you're paying, you know, you kind of want your merchandise out by a certain time.
Right.
You know, so I wasn't able to get that. And I totally respect that. You know, he worked, had a family, you know, just had a baby. So he had to do what he had to do and put me on the back burner.
Yeah. I mean, this is still a hobby for me. I mean, I'd like for it to start paying for itself, and I'd be able to this to be an actual profession. It's not a profession; it's a hobby.
Hobby.
Uh, if I was to able to social social media wise enough to make it where it would become a profession, or to get a TV show or something like that, that's a different story, But right now, I mean, I'm doing this because it's something we enjoy doing, and it's a hobby.
There you go. You know,
you ain't you ain't got a $100,000 budget for a hobby. So.
nah. Even if I did, I wouldn't spend it on it. You know what I'm saying? Even if I did, I wouldn't spend it on it. But like you say, hobbies, it do get expensive because you know you want to be able to at least keep up with what's going on in the world.
Right.
You know, if you got to save $20 here, $20 there to get that Ovilus, I can, then save up for it. You know, if you want to save up a couple dollars a month to get that brand new 4K camera, then save up for it. I mean, hell, I don't think I've ever came out of my pocket like this and just dropped, $3 large on a camera like that. I had to save up for every little thing I got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, shit, bills come first, then the hobby comes second.
Right.
But the thing is, who's ever listening out there to me right now, never get it twisted, guys, that just because you have a camera, never think that camera is not doing the job for you, because it was doing the job for you when you bought it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just because you see this camera over here that says Sony or Panasonic or Toshiba on it, it's the same camera as that camera you've been using for the last 3 years. Only difference is you paying $400 for that name that's on it.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't never say, well, this camera here don't work for me because it's old. Yeah, but that camera got you from point A to point B when you didn't have nothing else.
Yeah, it's like if you go into you go into an electronics store and you're going to see something better.
Yeah.
I like to have that, but it's going to cost you more.
It's going to cost you more. And you know what? And it really doesn't. The only thing you buying on these big cameras is the name.
Right.
Onka Una or some kind of weird off-brand name can get you just as much.
Yeah, get
as that other camera.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? People tell me all the time, man. I mean, are you ever gonna upgrade your cameras? I'm like, no. I mean, I want to. I've been thinking about it, and I told the team that I was thinking about getting cameras, but bigger cameras. But the thing is, if it's working, hell, don't break it.
Yeah.
Do not.
There's
You're
always
good to go.
There's always something better. Something's coming out every 6 months in the audio visual world and electronics world. You trying to keep up with the Joneses, you can break yourself.
You're gonna hurt yourself,
Absolutely.
man. Because I'm telling you, ain't no camera worth with me not paying my rent. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'll pay. Walmart better have layaway because that's where it's gonna be until I pay that sucker off.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yes, sir. Mr. Chopper said you gotta work with what you have, man. And
Work with,
I totally agree with you, Mike.
hey, you can work with the iPhone you got, and low tech is better than no tech. I mean, like I said, you got some dowsing rods and iPhone. That's a good start for your paranormal team right there.
Yes, sir. And you know what? And if it hasn't failed you when you was using it, it ain't gonna fail you when you're not using it. Just
Absolutely.
make sure you take care of that camera, put it up, make it all nice and neat, put that thing up in a safe place, and it will work the next time that you need it.
Hmm.
No ifs and buts about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I thought about it. I'm looking on eBay, for these cameras, and I'm like, man, this camera costs shit $300.
Hmm.
Hell, and I gotta buy two of them because I got two cameramen, uh, per team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm like, man, that's $600 right there. No, I'm not gonna do it. $600 is a lot of money.
Yeah. You'll be all right with the equipment that you got. So you ready to
Yeah,
it'll
yeah,
work.
definitely, definitely. Hey man, it's dude, we've been on this thing an hour and 16 minutes. That tells you time flies when you're having a good time and you're having a good conversation.
Absolutely. Been having a good conversation, been enjoying it.
You know what I'm saying? All right. This is part of the podcast, William, when you get the opportunity to ask me any questions that's on your mind. So feel free to do so, brother. Ask me anything you would like, and I will try to be truthful and honestly with you and try to get you the answer that I think that I can give you.
Why don't you about one of your best paranormal investigations? Where'd you get the most, you know, most activity, the most really, really, really your,
I can honestly tell you, man, I when I started this 3 years ago, uh, I ran across some locations that I was thinking, well, this is probably one of my creepiest locations. But bro, I can honestly tell you, man, Shady Villa. If any of my members are out there listening or are watching the show, Shady Villa Hotel. I did not. It was an overnight investigation, William,
Mhm.
and I did not sleep in that. And room 306,
Yeah.
I did not sleep the whole night.
Where's that at?
It's in Salado, Texas.
Oh, okay.
I did not sleep the whole night. Now, my other two members slept like babies,
Hmm.
but the other member that was sleeping, because the damn devices were going off.
Right.
They were just going off. Cat bar going off. REM pods going off. The scare bear going off. And I'm just sitting there, man, watching all this stuff, all this evidence just going off at one time.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my fucking God, dude. They told me that it was going to happen. They told me about room 306,
Hmm.
but I did not experience it until I went there and saw it myself. And trust me, when I got home to my apartment, man, I slept like a baby. But I did not sleep in room 306 that night. You know what I'm
That,
saying?
yeah.
Like Nisi, she's a part of my team. She said, yeah, that place was scary. She didn't even sleep the first time she went there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just one area. Dude, it's the whole damn villa that's haunted.
Wow.
And we're not talking about a football field. Dude, we're talking about several hundred acres of hotel space.
Wow.
No matter where you go, if you go to building 4, man, that's haunted. You go down to the tunnels. They got tunnels down there. That's
Mm-hmm.
haunted. You go to the laundry room. That's haunted. Hell, from what I heard, we have an opportunity to get there yet, but the damn cafeteria, the ballroom, that's haunted.
Mm-hmm.
The whole damn place is haunted, man. And we've been pushing for paranormal investigators to come and check the new paranormal hotspot in Central Texas. Just go there and experience it for yourself, guys. And I guarantee you will not be disappointed.
I'd like to check that place out.
You will not be. And I guarantee you will not sleep that night either. If you do, it'll be in your car. Because any room that's on that property, there's something going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's something.
All right.
You definitely got to check that place out. And the great thing about this place, Williams, it's not like all the other places that paranormal. And man, you go everywhere. You paying big bucks to go to see this legendary hotspot where there's a million paranormal investigators has been. It's not like that because they just opened it up for paranormal investigators to come in and investigate. So it's not diluted with 1,050,000 feet that's been on the floor.
Right.
So yeah. So if you want to check it out, go to check out the Facebook Ghost of Salado, and you will see all the evidence that my team has put together. They actually put this Facebook group together. So we actually want the whole community to know.
Mm-hmm. Still there?
Yeah, we actually want the whole community to know on what's going on in this small little town.
Okay.
You know, so go check it out. Facebook, the Ghost of Salado, Texas, and you'll see all kind of. And you know what? And just judge for yourself on some of the evidence that we've captured at that location, and not just location; it's the whole damn town.
Right. Right.
You know, and just see what you think. You know, if you got a question on, you know, a particular photo or a picture that, you know, yeah, you might want to say, I really don't see nothing there. Well, you know, leave a comment because we would like to know what other people think about some of the evidence that we've captured. I mean, some of the evidence my team has captured. You know, to me, a damn good skeptic, man. I'm trying to find one. If you know a good skeptic, you let me know. You send him my way.
Okay.
Because I love a skeptic. I love somebody that can go and try to debunk things. And you know what? And it makes me, you know, and it makes me open my eyes a little wider and say, instead of, you know, inside the box, I can look outside the box. You're like, whoa, okay, I can see that. You know, this, yeah. You know, or if you think a branch that, you know, that look like it has two eyes in its nose, but it's a reflection of a camera, you know, hey, I love all that stuff. I mean, I really love for somebody just to come in and just debunk certain things, you know, and just say, hey, Terry, Nisi, Colleen, Chad, you know, Justin, Alicia, hey man, I really don't think this is what it is. And my team members will go back and reevaluate and like, well, you might be right. You might be right. And that's the kind of team that we have. That we man, it's a great team, and I'm proud of them. They're doing a great job, and I only thing I can say is keep up the good work. With them, and you know what, man, with time and patience, I can almost guarantee you, man, you're gonna have the same team. You'll find that same team, out there in Las Cruces, Mexico. You know what I'm saying?
We're hoping to do that. We're hoping to get it back together out here. Urban Paranormal West, for sure.
Hey, I'm hoping you do, bro. I really hoping you do. Okay. Well, you know what, man? Tell the world how to get a hold of you, man.
Well, we're on Facebook, Urban Paranormal Experience on Facebook and on Instagram. Just plug us in. Urban Paranormal Experience. You'll be able to find us.
Hey, man, if you guys got anything that you want to ask this young man, feel free, man, to reach out to him. Hey, I'm pretty sure he would gladly answer any questions that you have for him. You know what I'm saying? He seemed like he knows what he's doing, man. He's been doing this a lot longer than me. You know what I'm saying? And he's been doing it in a bigger town that I've been in. Chicago, Chi-Town.
Yeah.
Man, hey, you know what, man? I used to go on YouTube, and now I really don't know if you're into roller skating, but they got these roller skating. What are they called? I guess they're called like gangs, because they all get together and they battle each other on the front of the damn roller scheme, the skating ring, and man, they be throwing down. Man, I've seen some brothers out of Chicago that do some stuff on some skates. I ain't never seen done. And if they do, they probably break an ankle.
Yeah, that roller skating, I haven't done that in years, but I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They will probably. I can tell you, I'll break an ankle if I see some of these stuff these young cats up in Chicago are doing. I mean, they're grooving, and plus they be playing that old school music. That damn Isaac Hayes. They really don't know nothing about Isaac Hayes anyway, but they be playing it. But yeah, man, they doing some good stuff up there, man. And you know what? Ain't everything in Chicago negative, man. Forget what the cops are doing. A cop are gonna be a cop.
Yeah.
City is a great town. It's downtown is gorgeous.
It's a great town. We get some bad press, but I think if people actually visit there, they'll see that that's just some negative sensationalism. It's not all that. It's not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, all right. You know what, man? I loved it then when I went back in '89. I know the town has probably grown since then. So we're talking maybe 30 years later.
Oh, for sure.
That town is really freaking grown, man. And I know it's probably expensive to live there.
Yeah, everywhere's expensive now.
Yeah. But man, I mean, luckily I found me a nice little place here in Cedar Park where I ain't got to pay that much, but I think I'm all right. I think I'm doing all right, man. But anyway, look here, brother. It has been an honor and a pleasure talking to you.
Hey, well, I've enjoyed the conversation as well. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Can't wait to do some investigating.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, we're on our way, man. If you can do me one big favor before you leave, before you get out of here, I ask everybody this. What's on your bucket list, man? What paranormal place you would like to go to that's on your bucket list, no matter where it's at across the world? Where would you like to investigate?
Yeah, man, I like to go down to Jamaica and investigate that villa down there that's Rose Hall. I think it's called Rose Hill.
Rose Hill. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's a villa that You know, it was an old plantation.
What kind of plantation?
Oh, it was old slave
Oh,
plantation in
slave
Jamaica.
plantation. Okay.
But
You
that
know,
place is supposed to be out of control. I like to do that.
it's supposed to be out of control, huh?
Supposed to be out of control on the paranormal tip. Yeah. The
Mm.
activity.
You know what? I'm gonna have to look that up and see what that's really about. You know, because one thing I know about anything in the Caribbean, they keep the hush hush on a lot of the paranormal stuff that went on down there. You know, because a lot of it uh, had a lot of voodoo and stuff with it. You know, a lot of people, try to, cover things up. But, you can only cover things up for so long. Everything comes out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Everything. You know what I'm saying? You know what they say. Everything comes out in the light eventually. You can keep it
Absolutely.
in the dark for a little bit, but it's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's been a pleasure, brother. One more favor. If you can message me your number on Messenger, or and I can so when things starting to hit the fan, we can do a little bit more than messenger contact. I've actually can contact you over the phone and and let you know that we're coming, and and you can hold the light, you can turn the light on for us. You're like, hey man, here I am right here.
I got you covered. I'll text you. I'll send you my number so we can. You
All
can.
right. Hey, what's up, Dusty's Paranormal? How you doing today, brother? Hey, man, you missed a great podcast this evening. Hey, man, if you can catch us back, that would be great. But man, yeah, it was pretty nice. So, but in the meantime, hey, Mr. William, you enjoy your rest of your Sunday, man. Too bad the Cowboys ain't playing because I wouldn't watch them anyway. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you enjoy your Sunday, man. And I would love to hear from you soon. If you can send me your number, message to me to Messenger, and we can actually get everything set up. What? I can't hear you. What happened to the mic? Let's see here. Can you hear me now? All right. What happened to my mic, man? I, I, I don't know what happened to it. Yeah, I can't hear you. Uh, Mike, can you hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. All right, can you hear me?
All right, now I can hear you. Okay, now you're
Okay.
back.
Okay. As I was saying, go ahead and send me that number, man, through Messenger, and I will get you. And we can all get together. We can sit down and figure this thing out for this trip that we have coming up in October. Man, I'm really excited about this, man, because I've never ever investigated outside the state of Texas before. So this would be a big thing for us to have a joint investigation, with you. My team is excited. We're excited. I'm excited. Hell, the cat and dog is excited, to get over
Well,
there and see what's going on. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. We might have to take a road trip over there and see what's up with that fort.
Fort Baird. Yeah, we can definitely do that as well.
Yeah, because I don't think. Have you think any paranormal teams ever been there?
I can't recall any. I don't think I've seen any paranormal teams that actually investigated that place, but it would
So
be an interesting place to investigate.
Yeah, it would be. Hey, and I'm curious to know, man. That 50 miles, you could do 50 miles in 45 minutes in an hour. So I mean,
Out west for sure. Okay,
yeah.
my
We
phone's, my phone's about to die. So
all right, brother.
pleasure.
Enjoy yourself. Now, make sure you send me your contact info, man, and we can definitely get going on this thing, man, because we are coming and we are excited to do this with you.
All right,
You know what
looking
I'm saying?
forward.
All
Enjoy.
right. Hey, yes, sir. Enjoy. Enjoy the rest of your night. Hey, guys, this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast signing off. Hey, man, if you guys anything you want to say to this gentleman, please reach out to him. Urban Paranormal Experiences. He's from Chi-Town. So, hey, enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, well,
Peace.
peace.
Wow, that was a quick one. Man, let's see if I can get out of here. Somebody, I got some enchiladas waiting on me. So let me try that one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,